Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and pull out the key knowledge you need.
That's the idea.
So today, we're doing a deep exploration into an upcoming book by Muammar. It's called Cybersecurity Advancements in the Age of AI.
Right. And we've got a bunch of Loan's recent work here, kind of the foundation for the book, you could say.
Exactly. And our mission really is to give you a head start, understand the big advancements, what they mean for cybersecurity, and, well, for your own professional development, too.
Think of it as a curated preview. We want to hit the key takeaways from what Loan's been writing, see how this stuff can be, a real asset if you're working in or interested in cybersecurity today, especially with AI changing things so fast.
Okay, let's dive right in then. One of the first things that really jumps out from these sources is just how, well, tangled up AI and cybersecurity are now.
Yeah, it's not theory anymore.
No, it's the reality. It affects defense. It affects offense. It's everywhere.
And what's really interesting, and Loan hits this hard, is the dual nature of AI here. We saw references to the AI security challenge. AI is amazing for boosting defenses, right?
Yeah.
Better detection, faster response. But then you look at other pieces, and it's clear it's also a powerful weapon for attackers. More sophisticated stuff, new kinds of threats.
It's that double-edged sword idea again.
Exactly. It's not just use AI, it's use AI carefully, knowing the risks.
Which leads perfectly into the next big theme, ethics. This came up strongly in the AI security ethics and responsible innovation piece.
Oh, absolutely critical. And it's not just, abstract philosophy, it's practical. The stat that jumped out was, 71% of security pros are actually worried about AI deployment?
Yeah, that's a huge number. Tells you something.
It really does. So Loan's work seems to emphasize needing solid ethical frameworks, things based on, the core principles, beneficence, doing good, non-maleficence, avoiding harm, autonomy, justice, transparency, accountability, the basics, but applied to this complex tech.
So responsible innovation, basically. Not just charging ahead. And the sources raise some tough questions, don't they? Like the security versus privacy trade-off with all this AI data analysis.
That's a massive one. And it's a constant balancing act. How much data is okay? Where's the line? And what about automation versus keeping a human in the loop? Or
Right.
ensuring AI tools are effective, but also fair, not biased. And how transparent can you be about how the AI works without, handing attackers a roadmap?
Yeah, no easy answers there.
Definitely not. But it's good that the discussion points towards existing frameworks like NIST's AI risk management, IE's ethically aligned design, the EU guidelines, OECD principles.
Yeah.
They give you a starting point, at least.
Okay, so those are some big picture issues. Let's shift gears a bit to something very concrete, incident response. There was a source specifically on incident response in the AI era. Sounds like AI is shaking things up there.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
It seems to be tackling some of the long-standing headaches in IR, how time-consuming documentation is after an incident, how analysis can be inconsistent depending on who's doing it, how knowledge gets stuck with individuals. AI seems poised to help with all that.
How specifically? Can you give some examples?
Sure. So, things like automatically piecing together event timelines from logs, that gives you a clearer picture faster.
Okay.
Using machine learning to sift through and categorize evidence, huge time saver. Even using natural language processing to draft initial incident reports. Think about getting a consistent summary out quickly.
That definitely sounds like a game changer for efficiency. But what about the analysis itself? Getting to the root cause.
Yeah, AI helps there too. It can look at way more factors at once than a human can easily juggle, potentially spotting complex causes we might miss. And by seeing patterns across lots of incidents, it helps understand broader attacker techniques. It can even look at how well our defenses worked and maybe even predict future vulnerabilities based on past events. Help us tune our attack surface models proactively.
And goes beyond just looking back, right? It helps with current threat intelligence, too.
Exactly. AI can pull out indicators of compromise, like automatically, help build better profiles of adversaries, their TTPs, maybe even link attacks that didn't seem connected before. The sources mentioned some pretty impressive numbers, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 217% intelligence increase in one program, a 43% drop in attacks, faster detection, better analyst productivity, real impact.
Those are serious numbers. But the sources also mentioned AI isn't a silver bullet for incident analysis, correct?
That's crucial, yes. It's still very dependent on data quality. Garbage in, garbage out still applies. And AI has limitations. It's an assistant, a powerful one, but it doesn't replace human judgment and critical thinking. Not yet, anyway.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's pull back for a moment. How did we even get here? There was a source on the evolution of cybersecurity threats that gives that history.
Yeah, that piece provides really useful context. It traces the path, from the early days, simple stuff like password sharing.
Right, basic.
Then the malware evolution viruses, worms hitting everyone. Then came the commercialization, cybercrime for profit. And more recently, the APT era, those sophisticated, state-sponsored, or highly organized groups running targeted campaigns.
It feels like each stage just upped the ante, forcing defenders to get smarter, which
Yeah.
eventually led us to needing something like AI.
Pretty much. Attackers keep innovating, defenders have to respond, and now AI is this massive capability jump for both sides. The source specifically calls out new AI threats, things like adversarial ML to fool defensive AI.
Tricking the AI.
Exactly. Or AI-powered social engineering that's scarily convincing, autonomous malware acting on its own, deepfake scams. It's a whole new level of challenge.
Which just hammers home how vital a solid security foundation is.
Yeah.
That brings us neatly to security architecture principles. There was a source on that, too.
Absolutely. With AI in the mix, both for good and bad, a well-thought-out security architecture is non-negotiable. Loan's work seems to stress that mature architecture leads to fewer breaches, faster response. Simple as that.
Makes sense.
And it revisits those core ideas: defense in depth, multiple layers, no single point of failure, least privilege only the access you absolutely need, separation of duties, fail secure, complete mediation, zero trust, verify everything.
Are these classic principles changing much with AI? Or is it more about applying them rigorously?
It's mostly the application, I think, but principles like, say, privacy by design and secure by design, they become even more critical when you're building AI systems that chew through tons of data and make complex decisions.
Right. Got to build it in from the start.
Exactly. And resilience and recovery, too. You have to assume that sometimes things will get through and you need to be able to bounce back quickly.
And the source mentioned specific frameworks people can use?
Yeah, it lists the usual suspects: SABSA, NIST Cybersecurity Framework, ISO 27012, TOGAF, NIST RMF, MITRE ATNCK, Cloud Security Alliance. These give you structured ways to build that architecture. The key theme seems to be taking a risk-driven approach and constantly managing that risk, because the threats, especially AI-driven ones, are always changing.
So architecture is the foundation. But we still need to actively look for stuff that gets past the gates. Which brings us to threat hunting and AI's role there. That was another source. Threat hunting with AI.
Right, proactive hunting. Not just waiting for alarms to go off, but actively searching for threats that might have slipped through the cracks. It's a mindset shift from purely reactive defense.
And AI gives hunters superpowers, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the biggest things are scale and speed. AI can churn through data volumes humans just can't. Plus, pattern recognition, spotting subtle anomalies consistently without getting tired or bored. And it learns. It gets better over time based on past hunts.
What kind of AI techniques are actually used? The source went into that, didn't it?
It did. Mention supervised learning, good for classifying known bad stuff like malware signatures if you have labeled data. Unsupervised learning, great for finding unusual behavior, things that don't fit the normal pattern, which might be a new attack. Then deep learning RNNs, CNNs, transformers for really complex patterns and data sequences. NLP, natural language processing, for digging through text like threat reports or logs, and even graph analysis to see how different bits of an attack might be connected.
So it sounds like AI helps across the whole hunting process.
Pretty much. From generating ideas about what to hunt for, to speeding up the actual investigation by pulling relevant data together, to managing the knowledge gained from hunts, and just generally helping human hunters focus their efforts where it counts the most. The source also touched on, maturity levels for hunting teams and what you need to build an AI-assisted program, the right people, processes, and crucially good data.
Wow. Okay. This has been a really comprehensive tour through the themes in Muammar Loan's upcoming book based on all this groundwork he's laid. It really feels like this book is going to offer huge value for professional development in cyber.
I think so, too. Just covering the AI integration, the ethics, the changes in IR and threats, the architecture needs, and proactive hunting with AI. That's a very holistic view. It's the kind of understanding you really need to stay relevant now. Loan seems to be putting together a really thorough resource.
So for anyone listening who's serious about, where cybersecurity is heading with AI, this book sounds like it's going to be essential reading, a proper deep dive into the key advancements and challenges.
Agreed. Understanding this stuff isn't just nice to know. It's fundamental for developing effective strategies, choosing the right tools, and just navigating the landscape ahead. Based on these sources, the book seems set to be an an elegant way to deepen your expertise in this critical area.
So what's the bottom line for you listening in? Well, hopefully this deep dive gives you a really solid footing, a shortcut to understanding the big shifts Muammar Lone is likely exploring in cybersecurity advancements in the age of AI.
Yeah, it gives you that framework, right, for grasping how AI is touching, well, pretty much everything in cybersecurity
Yeah.
and sets you up for more learning and growth.
Right. And maybe it sparks some ideas.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought to chew on. We've talked about rapid change. Looking ahead, say, 3 to 5 years, what specific area where AI meets cybersecurity do you think will see the biggest disruption or transformation? And following from that, what skills will be absolutely essential to build up in response?
That's a great question to ponder as you figure out your own path in this space.
Definitely something to think about. We really encourage you to dig deeper into these topics. This overview is just scratching the surface. Thanks for tuning in.